Welcome to another edition of the Guys Peel. The Guys Peel. Wow.
Seems
Gosh,
legit.
yeah, I started early. I started drinking early, and I only had a sip. Oh, it went away. Oh, well. Don't know what that's all about. But welcome to another edition of the Peel. God, I did it again.
Síguele, cara.
Welcome to another edition of the Peel. I'm Justin.
And I'm Edson, and after the third try, he finally got him. Typical Philly.
Yes, Bob, I actually really have high hopes on this match tonight. Or today. It's actually today, 12:30. Be on Q57.
It feels weird, though.
It does feel weird. And, you know, with that match being played where it's at, with it being at the Maryland Soccerplex, there's also a youth tournament going on at the same time. I don't understand why they're playing it during the day. Yeah. That's where my issue is with this whole choice of venue. If anything, you should have moved the match to tomorrow. Or played it on a Friday night. And I know nobody wants that, but not at a venue that holds like 3,000.
Or they could have actually finished Audi Field before the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, typical with construction, there's always going to be delays. And
we also got to remember where it's at too. It's in Maryland. They've had, I mean, hell, just this last 3 weeks, they've had 3 nor'easters that have moved up the coast.
That is true.
I mean, it's not like it's been fun weather.
Yeah.
You know.
So what? So are they going to be called Maryland United or what?
Today, maybe. Bob brings up another good point. Playing on the road has always been historically difficult in MLS, and especially so for the Dynamo. I was reading what Josh messaged us. Especially for the Dynamo, in 12 seasons, the Dynamo have just 39 league wins away. That's 3 wins per year. And I think that's a telling tale. If you look at the teams that have been successful over the last few years in MLS and have won the final, I think they've won more than 3 matches on the road. But before we dive too deep into it, anything new this week for you? How's your week been? I was surprised you weren't in the Valley yesterday, actually.
Well, the thing is because of work.
You could have had the opening day flu.
Yeah, don't want to do that before I even have like 1 year at work. But actually, well, yesterday was the home opener for the USL. I was watching it and tweeting about it while I was at the apartment. Pretty good game. I loved Pablo Aguilar. Played really, really well. So I just hope that the Dynamo doesn't poach him and then not play him, which has been my issue.
I know. Well, first off, I got to ask you another question before we get too deep into the Dynamo talk. How are you feeling after this week? You knew I was going to say something. And I actually, Sean was the one that said Tigres was going to end up winning.
Hold on.
In case you didn't know, Edson is a huge Tigres supporter. I was waiting for it. I actually like that scarf. That's actually pretty badass, actually. You can rep. Because we got a little bit of time.
Honestly, to be serious, I felt that Toronto did what they had to do, which was hold back and take advantage of any opportunities.
Yes.
In attack, especially with somebody like Jovinko. When that free kick.
That free kick though.
You know what? I've been listening to radio talk shows in Monterrey. I've been reading articles and I've been reading tweets about the game. And honestly, everybody's saying, well, Nahuel could have done better, blah, blah, blah. That was all on Nahuel Guzman's fault for letting that free kick in. But the thing is that from, at least in my point of view, he got to it.
Yeah.
But then he got too worried about hitting himself in the post. So if you see, like, his face starts looking at the post, he doesn't look at the ball anymore.
You got to sacrifice your body on that. I mean, how many keepers do? They run to the post, they brush it off. But either way, a shot in almost the upper 90 like that is is damn near impossible to stop.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he actually got to the ball.
Yeah.
But then like hits the crossbar and then it goes back in. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to take away merit from the goal, obviously, because Giovinco is a beast.
Yes.
And frankly, I would love to have Giovinco on Tigres.
Who wouldn't in North America? He's still making a statement that he needs to play in Europe, but I don't want to talk too much on that yet. We'll cover Champions League at the very end of the show.
Sure.
Just let you know when the next matches are. But damn, that's a hell of a match. It had to have been the best Champions League two-legged series.
I mean, you're talking about the champion of MLS against the champion of Liga MX. Of course, it's gonna be some high quality stuff.
I mean, depending on how Tigres finishes, it could be a rematch of
Champions Cup.
Yep, this new CONCACAF Champions Cup that will be what is it, like September 19th or something like that?
Well, it's not really CONCACAF. It's a partnership.
Yeah. Liga MX and MLS. But there was that. We've got a couple other news and tidbit stuff we'll throw in at the very end. But we're not going to totally review the Vancouver match too much. It was depressing. And it's not even like the Dynamo played bad. It's Vancouver. The Dynamo played into Vancouver and what Vancouver was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and you know what? There was a lot of parallels between that game and the Tigres game, because it was like Tigres and as well as the Dynamo, they were dominating the game. They were having all these chances, but Vancouver with the two chances that they got, that was all that they needed to get the results.
Yes. I think what really bothered me was the two guys that scored. It's not that I don't like Breck Shea, but when it comes to the U.S. national team level, I have an issue with him. But Kai Kamara, I can't stand him, and I can't stand his hair. Whatever that is.
I was actually surprised that he... Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, he celebrated by kissing the pitch, right?
I think so.
Okay. I was actually surprised that he did not do the Black Panther celebration or something. I was thankfully.
If he would have...
He would have gotten a lot of shit.
People would have gotten kicked out of the stadium.
Yeah.
That's how I see that.
Yeah.
Josh is salty because he went out last night and he didn't realize we were doing the show at 10:30. So he asked how long we were going for it. I said, we're only going for an hour. Maybe hour 15, depending on how the chat goes. And right now it's pretty lit. To the ones that are in the chat, we got a whole 8 of you. Thanks for tuning in today. Like I said, it's going to be quick. And the reason we did 10:30 today was to give you guys time to watch Glenn and Eddie and their pre-match show. And it's so typically when I have people over, I like to grill, and that allows me time to prepare the food and all that good stuff. There were some burgers and hot dogs on. It should be the chat ding, but I don't have it turned up on here. But I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Oh, you know what? No, that shouldn't be it either. Let me mute this. Just to see. I mean, it could be. Oh, you know what? I think it is. But it should be, let me go quiet time. There we go. I don't know if anybody's really all that popular on Facebook. It's just made up friends. Except for a few. I got a few actual good friends on Facebook. Some of them here. I'm gonna stop. Anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna dig yourself in a hole.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did drop our second home match, first home loss against Vancouver. That's back-to-back. No, it's not back-to-back because we won our first match. But that's 2 home losses in the last 3 matches of BBVA. Kind of depressing.
It is kind of depressing, but then again, it is the beginning of the season.
Yes.
And I feel, at least in my predictions, I had some predictions, some more losses at home, but as well as more wins in the
You're good.
more wins on the road, which I feel like that will probably be better off in the long term for the Dynamo, rather than just relying too much on home results and not getting the results away. At least that's my point of view. Now, as far as how the Dynamo played, there is one little tidbit that I told you I told you when you called me right after the game, and it's the fact that players like Eric Alexander, when they have opportunities to shoot from outside the box, and they don't, it was a clear path from where Eric Alexander was standing with the ball to the goal. There wasn't any pressure from Vancouver, and I think it was in like a couple, 2 or 3 plays, and he could have shot, and the fans were actually like trying to tell him to shoot, and he got too scared and decided to pass it to somebody else, and then the pressure got to them, and they would lose the ball. And I'm like, man, it was like, I understand maybe you don't feel comfortable shooting from outside, but at least try it.
I honestly, he should have taken the shot.
Because you know what? Because here's the thing: when you have a team that is so pressed back in their own field, parking the bus per se, the best things that you can do to try to break apart that defense are 2 things. One touch passing, or las paredes, and number 2, shooting from outside the box. Because if you're gonna try to go and to the wings and cross it, or try to do slow passing, outside the box to try to get them out, and they don't come out, you have possession, but you're not really adding to any danger. And in that game, you see like every time the midfielders, whether it was Andrew Wenger, or whether at his time it was who was it, Kevin Garcia, or Adolfo Machado crossing it, Kendall Waston was always there to clear it out. Yeah. And if you're seeing that crosses in the box are not working, and yet you're still trying to do the same thing, hoping for things to be different, you're not going to break them apart. Try something different.
Is that the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing
over and over again, expecting different results. Exactly.
Bob says that finishing has always been a Dynamo curse, kind of like the U.S. men's national team. We had 45 corner kicks? We have 46. I just checked it on MLS. But yeah, 46 crosses. 46.
Yeah. And all of them went...
Or corners, excuse me.
46 corners?
Or did I say crosses? Excuse me. It was 46 crosses. Corners.
Wow, that's...
Where is that stat? They used to put it on here.
I think it shouldn't be over... No, go down. There it is. There it is.
There we go.
It was 15 corners.
15 corners. 15 corners to 4.
Yeah. Dynamo had 3 missed chances. The Vancouver had 0. Mm-hmm. And then, where is it? Where's shots on goal?
That's passing.
Okay.
Shots on 7-3. Total shots 21-7.
And you're talking that Vancouver had 3 shots on target and they scored 2 goals. Very effective. Mm-hmm. And that's all they needed. They knew, especially taking advantage, and I told you this as well, that they took advantage that they have people with speed, like what's his name? The young guy, 17-year-old?
Oh, Alphonso Davies.
Alphonso Davies. Break Shea when he
19.
came. Yeah.
I think he's 19 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Alphonso Davies, Break Shea, Kamara as well. And you don't have, really speedy defenders. And also you're seeing that, and that's exactly what happened with Break Shea's goal. They found the Dynamo defense too far up on the pitch. And he just took advantage of his speed one-on-one against Chris.
You know what irritates me about Shea? And it's happened twice now. He gets subbed on and scores within 15, 20 minutes of him coming on.
That's a super sub for you, and I don't blame him, man. I mean, what more could you want? That's the perfect sub. It comes in and in very little time, makes a difference on the pitch. Yeah, just like yesterday with John Montaño with RGV.
Yeah, Darby, we all share her sentiment. Is AJD needs to come back fast.
Yeah. But now I also was reading some comments, totally bashing Kevin Garcia. Keep in mind that Kevin Garcia is actually a CB that is being tried as an RB, as a right back, and so Kevin Garcia does not have the speed that one would think a right back would have George Malky would be better. If you didn't have in front of him, people like AJD when he's healthy. You also have Machado can do that as well. I mean, Machado looked good there, in that position. But what was it? Senderos was out for.
He came in halftime for Kevin Garcia.
Yeah, but was it an injury or because he got the yellow?
Probably both. Or you got to think about it. I mean, no, that's right. Senderos did get injured. He got injured and he was limping early, and then he got subbed out at halftime for Kevin Garcia. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think if Remick clears protocol, which I haven't seen if he is, I've heard his concussion. I've heard a few things.
And now that Corey is sadly gone, like, how are we gonna find out?
I think I have a few emails, and I think I'm gonna try to get Sean in on that too, because he has more pull with the organization, and we need to try to get some of this inside information because nobody else is covering the team right now.
No, definitely no.
In case you guys didn't know, Corey Ropkin was let go by the Chronicle. He was laid off, which now that means, I'm telling you, he was out there every practice, every press conference, every match, everything. I mean, his job was covering this team. And now we as Houstonians and Dynamo supporters do not have that inside guy at all right now. I mean, yeah, Sean has his sources, and some people that we know have their sources, but it's one of those. There's not the public inside guy, and that was Corey.
Not only that, it's not, there's a big difference between trying to get some inside information and actually going out there to the people that are the face of the team and going out there and probing for information out of them and letting them see that they're being pressured, that that they want some real information out of them.
What's going to happen if I go out to practice and I ask Wilmer, hey, what's the status on Dylan Remick?
No,
Wilmer does not give those answers.
No.
Wilmer is very to the books when it comes to answers. And it's not that I don't I love Wilmer as a manager. I hate interviews with Wilmer because he gives your very generic manager answers.
And not only that, like from what I saw when I interviewed him when he was down at RGV, he tends to take some things personal, like if you kind of, because I asked him about like how involved he's going to be with RGV, because RGV did not give results as far as points last season, and he kind of got you can say offended, because his tone and his face changed really quickly to something like super serious, is saying like, no, it was a success because we got 5-6 players down from RGV, and like that was not the question. But oh well. I didn't want to get on his bad side either. So
yeah, I'm looking to see right now. I don't see anything right now on Senderos. Trying to see. We get emails from the Dynamo, and I'm trying to see if they have anything up, but it doesn't say. Injury report. There we go. He is not. He's not listed on the injury report at all.
So right now it's just AJD and Cabeza's right quadricep for him. See, he's not even doubtful or questionable.
Well, it says here his status will be updated along with the full injury report for this week's match on Thursday afternoon. It didn't come out, so I'm guessing that he is healthy. According to MLS, though, it doesn't say he's out, questionable, or doubtful. But he is on the injury report, but I'm not sure if he's actually going to be playing.
But that's probably because they actually have the
MLS is so bad with their injury reports, though.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, they're horrible. They're a lot like Bill Belichick when it comes to injuries. But I mean, real quick, we'll close down this match here in about 4 or 5 more minutes. Like I said earlier, we outshot them 21-7. 7 shots on target to 3. I will say that goal by Albert Elise was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
With the assist from Tomas Martinez and Eric Alexander.
And just the fact, like, who was it, Beasley let that ball go? so that way Elise would get it, and then he went in and shot. I thought that was an excellent play. So what did you think about the penalty? Was it a penalty to you, or was it not a penalty?
I actually, because I was coming back from the smoke area, because I was roping and talking to some people about our engagement. That's the only reason.
Okay.
So when I came back, they were just taking the shot, so I actually didn't see what happened. So from what I've heard, it was not a penalty.
I'm going to have to disagree with that and say that it actually was a penalty, because there was actually a push by Senderos on, I believe it was Kamara.
Was it?
Yeah. And obviously, it's the kind of fouls that 9 times out of 10 a referee is not going to call. Mm-hmm. But technically, if you want to be strict going by the rule book, it was. Don't at me.
Bob according in regards to Corey, dude is passionate about the team as well. When I was watching the preseason cup final with him at the bar, he was giving us his insight and his predictions of the season. Yeah, so Brian, AJD out, yes. George Malky out, yes. Concussion. Senderos is questionable. Cabezas is out. Bob says if that was a penalty, then Dynamo deserved 3 penalties. Bob is so smart. Yes, he is. Bob, I want to say you are a newer subscriber as well. Thank you. But, yeah, when it comes to injuries per MLS, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Where was I going with that?
We were talking about the penalty.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I didn't even get a chance to go back and actually watch the match like I normally try to during the week. I've been work this week killed me.
Yeah. What's up, Gabe?
What's up, bro?
So I like going back like with Gabe how there was actually people that legitly thought that Pepsi Cola was going to be the shirt sponsor after his Photoshop. Speaking
of that, you know how bad that is for a team to still not have a primary kit sponsor? You know how much money we're missing out on? You know how much money comes in on primary kits?
Yeah, but is that going to make tickets cheaper?
No.
So it doesn't really matter for
while
me.
We're transitioning, we will close the book. Yeah, we lost 2-1. I don't want to talk about that match anymore. I don't think we lose again at home. I think if we do get down into a match, it's going to be a draw from here on out. I think we played Toronto well and get a draw. I don't think I had them losing to Toronto, which after Champions League.
I think if anything, they might lose. Well, we'll have to see because, like I said before, it is really early in the season.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams that start out really strong and then bloop.
So I am going to rip and rant for a little bit because it officially came to head and I was legitimately pissed off. So, beautiful day. 5:30 kickoff. Why were there not more people in those seats? They said there was 20,000 according to the Dynamo and MLS. There was like 14. No, there's probably closer to 17. But there was nothing else going on besides the rodeo. It was the start of spring break. There's no reason that there shouldn't be almost actually 20,000 people there, closer to 21. And I think what the Dynamo really need to do is, one, they need to step their marketing game up because it sucks.
Definitely.
I think, you know what, in your corner seats, because it's, Bob says blame pre-court. I think in those corner seats, because they're going to be harder to sell during the summer because the sun hits right in those corners on the supporter section side. Guess what? You make those seats $10 to $15. Call that GA. Not actually, I would keep cap it at 10. And my issue is if they're worried about money, if you sell those seats at $10, that's more money people will spend on concessions and or merch. I mean, yeah, there's probably some math involved there too. But if you're having a problem, lower your ticket sales.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
Price.
Yeah. I don't understand why I'm paying so much for my season tickets and I got a measly little box with nothing in it but a card that doesn't even get you in the stadium anymore.
Yeah.
It's a really bad look on the organization as a whole, when your team was not bad last year, they go to the Western Conference Finals, and you still can't pull close to a sellout match. And it's not that the team is bad. I mean, if you look on it, there are stars on this team.
And you know what? It's like Victor said, like Victor Araiza said. He said
I wanted to get on his quote, and I totally forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah. He said that the Dynamo organization needs to make all these soccer fans in the Houston area fall in love with the team.
And you've got the product on the field.
Yes.
You know?
Make the Dynamo something that will capture the attention from all these fans. You got a lot of Liga MX fans. You got a lot of Central American soccer fans. You got and definitely you have a lot of European fans. I was going to say Euro snobs. Thank you, but that's not true.
Good.
But see, it's not as simple as there's a lot of soccer fans out here that they'll support. It's not as simple as that. You have to give them reasons to love this team.
Yes.
And if your marketing is not doing their job, then how are you going to get their attention? You know, for in the long term, because yes, in the short term, in the conference final, it was a sellout.
Yes,
but
if you look at that though, when are the highest attended matches? Playoffs, FC Dallas, and sometimes SKC. That's it. It's not or when they're playing LA Galaxy, and I bet you they'll have the same pool for
LAFC with
LAFC. Yeah. And the only reason the Atlanta match was so packed was it was the first match of the year, which it was. It was a pretty full stadium. It wasn't a sellout, but there's no reason. And I mean, hell, even Philadelphia, who they have been garbage for years since their existence. They've made the playoffs twice. Okay, they've been rough, but they still get close to sellouts every match. Their supporter section's full every match. You know, and so real quick, Bob also says that on the MLS subreddit there was a season ticket package thread, and the teams are just giving everybody a box saying essentially, "Hey, get the app, please." What I will say, last year, one of my good friends that I used to work with back home in Delaware, when he got his Union season tickets, and I think he only got a partial. That's when his wife was stationed down in South Carolina, and they would still drive up for the matches. I think they got like a travel bag, like a razor bag or whatever. They got a scarf. They got like a bunch of really cool things with the Union crest, embroidered on it. I'm not saying that I need that, but it can't cost an organization that much to give your season ticket holders who are forking over their hard-earned money to get a season ticket scarf.
Yeah.
They used to.
Because, even San Antonio FC got their season ticket members not only the scarf, but also access to the jersey reveal party.
Yes.
So why not? And for example, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was expecting, for the jersey reveal for this away kit. She thought that they were going to have something similar that they had last year for the home kit, and she was extremely disappointed that they did nothing for at least for season ticket members.
Hey, Brian, and I'm going to say this now. This is not a knock on Darby. We love Darby, and we hope that she can be a voice of change in TA. But EB has started to show up early now. And I think what really ticked me off about the supporters group was, during the Atlanta match, I was so annoyed that I had to hear Atlanta be loud for 10 minutes before any of the supporters groups. And actually, EB falls into that category too. Show up early, stay late. Close the tailgate early. Show up. Like, that should be one of the first things fans hear when they enter the stadium 20 minutes before the match. Let's say 10 minutes, because I'm not saying you need to be there half an hour before the match. I'm saying
here's the thing, at least show some unity between EB and TA marching into the to their places, because right now it's all EB. EB takes all the attention, and
it's because of the drums.
Yeah, but still, both TA and EB, there are Dynamo supporters groups. What is stopping them from?
So we had this conversation, I think, right after the match, and that was, I understand the differences between the two, but I also think you need to look at it's a dishwasher.
Yeah.
You have to look at it from a cultural standpoint in the city, and that is, thank God. Darby said we definitely agree. We are working in the TA/EB bridge, and we have a new liaison this year. Good. My issue is, and I put this more on EB than I put this on TA, because right now EB has and like I said, Darby, this isn't a knock on TA, but it feels like EB has the louder voice when it comes to the supporter section. And that is, you have to look at the city as a whole.
Yes.
We are not a full Hispanic city, and we are not a full English-speaking city. We are a blend of the two.
And you know what? And we were talking about that after the Atlanta match, and you were saying that EB has to not, if they want to,
there needs to be compromises on both. Yeah,
but not only that, if they want to attract the attention of the fans, for example, to chant, to actually follow them in chants. Stop relying too much on. Yes, I know it's your culture, your identity, EB, to be more of a barra brava style of Argentina, of Mexico, but don't also have some English.
Be original. Chances. Have your own culture, I guess.
Or embrace the Tex-Mex culture.
Exactly. So I'm saying for every start off with the Forever Orange song. Start off with that. Then go to a chant that gets the whole crowd into it. And then just keep following along and rotate through your songs. And it will create a better atmosphere, at least personally.
Because honestly, like you listen to EB, and you can barely make out the words of the chant, and it doesn't help that. And I'm a Spanish speaker.
I don't speak any Spanish. It's funny because Megan knows the songs, and I don't know if she knows the translations of everything that they say. And I'm still sitting here like, Megan, I have no idea what the hell.
So like I was with EB for a while last season, and I know most of the chants, what they say for that specific reason. But somebody who has not been in there, who has no idea what they're saying, and they might be Spanish speakers, but the thing is, you listen more, you hear the trombones and the trumpets and the drums more than you actually hear vocals, and that's a problem, because the fans are not going to be able to follow you. All they know is the Forever We Are Orange chant, as well as the Let's Go Dino, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned
I mouth the words, but I don't actually know the words.
Now you mentioned that the supporters groups were handing out chants the Atlanta game, right?
Yes, EB was. EB had their song list, but I don't. I mean, I still doesn't help me. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, just embrace. We're a special city. We have so much of a melting pot.
We're the New York of the South, if you think about it.
Yeah. So embrace that. Don't be a copy of Argentina. Don't be a copy of Mexico. We are our own identity. Embrace it. Embrace that Tex-Mex culture, that mixture between American and Hispanic culture, and that will give our supporters groups more of a attention from the MLS in general.
Bob says, and this is probably where I fit in. He said, true fact with the lyrics, it took me 4 years in the supporter section that we weren't chanting Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel when we got upset with the ref. That's funny. So we'll turn the page. Hopefully that gets better. And I think a lot of that also falls with the organization too. Get asses to the seats. And the supporter sections can only do so much for their end, but this falls more on the team. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure we'll talk about that again this week, this Tuesday. Yeah. It's just, it's getting a little sad. But out of all competition against DC United, 28 matches, 17 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses, plus 23 goal difference. That's one of the highest goal differences we have.
And that is overall, right?
That is overall. That's all competition. We're going to do away, and we're going to do MLS. I love transfer market.
Definitely.
All right.
All right. So with DC United, we've had 12 matches away, won 5, drawn 2, and lost 5, plus 4 difference. And
so this is actually one of the better, or this is one of the teams that we actually have a better road record against. It's one of the few, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the best win percentage over. I mean, 41%. Actually, there's one other team.
No, 44.
Chivas.
But that was Chivas USA. God, they don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, so out of current MLS clubs, that is the best win percentage that we have over a club on the road. With DC United, well, let's go through their injury report. I don't think the Brutus really just make noise. DC United, they have Russell Canoes out with a knee injury and Taylor Kemp with a groin injury, both out. I don't think they have anybody on disciplinary. I will say I don't think there's a whole lot going on in the disciplinary reports. But what are your early outlooks on the match? What are you expecting? I mean, it is being played at Maryland Sportsplex. It's not in DC. It's about 45 minutes away from the city.
Yeah.
I've read anywhere from 3,000 to 5,500 for this match. I'm going to go with the lower number. Glenn Davis said it's about 3,000. Fun fact, not really fun fact, but if you look at it, they just played in front of the largest ever MLS regular season match last week against Atlanta United. Okay, 73,000? They're playing in the smallest ever attended match in MLS history the following week.
God bless the MLS.
Yeah. And as of right now, nobody is suspended at all for this match.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So, if I were to make a prediction, I would say,
I mean, we don't necessarily have to go into numbers yet. But what does the team have to do to shut down DC?
Well, I have not, to be honest, I have not looked at DC United's, a lot in depth.
Just one loss, one draw, and they are -2 goal difference.
I would say just keep on doing what you're doing with Elise and keep him on the wing. I said it last week again against Vancouver. When we moved Elise to the striker position away from the wing, we lost a lot of the attacking power that we had. And so hopefully we don't get like, okay, for starters, we hope that Mauro actually comes out for this game.
Let me ask you that. In regards to Mauro, what is your stance on him in these first 2 matches? I've been high on Mauro ever since beginning of last year. When he first started getting minutes, and then the year prior to that when he was only getting spot starts, against clubs like DC or whatever.
I think he's just nervous that he's now that he's actually.
You cannot be nervous if you are already. You have the keys to this car now. You are the guy up top. You are the number 1 striker. It's.
Here's the thing, though. You're using the about the keys. Okay, so let's say there's a big difference between driving a Ferrari when you have your instructor with you. Then here are the keys to a Ferrari. You're gonna drive it yourself. You're still gonna get nervous because you didn't really have that pressure. Last year, the pressure was on Kubo because he was the main guy up top. The year before, obviously, he was just getting spotted minutes, and he was sent down to RGV.
Yes.
Okay. This year, he's the main guy on top. He's the one with the pressure of like you have to do good. If you don't, you're gonna lose your spot to Max Steves. So there's the pressures are different this year, and I think he's trying to get used to it. I feel like as the season progresses, he's gonna shake that off, and he's gonna be the Mauro that we all love. You just got to give him time.
Could you see? Let's say 6-7 matches in, and we're seeing the same Manotas that just looks shaky. I don't want to say he looks bad. He just looks shaky. Like he looks at times a little lost, maybe a step behind. The whole play.
Yeah.
And I know he's just probably trying to get in the groove of things, but do you think that you could see where Wilmer would be like, all right, it's not working out. and you'd see Elise slot into that role and have Kyoto and Wenger playing out wide.
I don't want that. And
I'm not saying we want that.
No. What I'm saying is that, like I said, we lose firepower. We don't have Elise on the wing. If anything, he might probably give Max Steves a shot.
Yeah. A couple notes for today. Elise can score in back-to-back goals for the fourth time in his career. First time being September 27th and 30th. Beasley can make his 175th career start in MLS. Let's see. If Morrow scores today, he'd score against DC United in his second consecutive year. Same thing with Memo Rodriguez. If he starts, he'd be making his 2018 debut.
Yeah.
Chris Seitz can record his 20th clean sheet in second of the season. I don't see that happening today. Josh says with his prediction, we'll get into that here in a minute. He says he believes Mattox will end up getting a goal. What's Josh saying over there?
So he said that Morrow had one bad game. I think he'll bounce back this week. He said Kyoto, and going with what you said with Kyoto and Wenger, he said Kyoto and Wenger played out wide last game, and it was terrible. What I said.
Yeah. And look, I'm not knocking on Manotas. I'm not saying that I don't want to see him start, or I've totally switched my views on him. It's just I want to see better out of him, and it's like one of those constructive criticisms. Like, I definitely think he long term is better than Kubo. I mean, what's Kubo doing right now in Pumas?
Nothing.
Exactly. Donovan has more minutes and appearances than Kubo does, and Donovan's twice his age. Think about that. Let that set in. Yeah, I know they're different positions, but still.
The thing is that Kubo's getting minutes in the cup, and so I think he's only scored 2.
Is it funny? No. Well, in cup play, I would think so. In Liga MX plays, he has.
Yeah, in cup he scored 2. One of them was a penalty.
Go figure.
And honestly, there's been a lot of backlash and comments. I had one of my contacts on Twitter. He's a Pumas fan, and he's like, "You guys want him back?" It's like, hell no.
Probably the bigger note for today is Seitz can make his 100th career appearance today against DC United. So let's see, that was week 1. Nothing from week 2. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. A win would give us. That's false. How are we going to be 2-0-0 to start the season?
Seems legit.
Dynamo, get your notes right. That's not even right. Regular season unbeaten streak to 8 matches dating back to last year. We lost last week. I'm gonna have to get a hold of Zach and let him know that these are all wrong.
These are fake news. Fake news.
Houston's 3rd consecutive regular season victory dating back to decision day of last year. Again, false.
Fake news.
All right, I'm done reading these because they haven't updated them. Yeah, see? They didn't even update anything against Vancouver. That's hilarious.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, so where are they going to be passing this game?
What was that?
Where are they going to be passing this game? Let them know. So it's going to be on the Cube.
Oh yeah. It's Cube 57. Cube 57. You'll catch the play-by-play and match analysis from Glenn Davis and Eddie Robinson. It will be on English radio, CBS Sports Radio 650, which Megan's brother actually works there.
Oh, nice.
Fun fact. Spanish radio would be on 1010 a.m.
Univision Deportes Radio.
Josh, that wasn't me to type those notes. I'll show them to you. It's actually kind of funny. Who do you think is going to play the biggest role in this match? It could be on either side. Who cares about DC, actually?
See the way they've been playing it all falls on Elise, what he can do in the attack. But I would say, yeah, I'm gonna have to play it safe and go with Elise.
I think the club flew out there. Was that Friday or Thursday?
I think it was on Friday because I think on Thursday they still had something.
It's gonna be in the 40s up there. Total departure of what it is today here. High 85 and humid. And that's according to weather.com. I do like to put that out there sometimes. Let's see. I you know what? because I feel like I should choose somebody different. I think this falls on Manotas. I think Manotas has to show up this match. I actually think him or Lee's get a goal today. And I think Tomas will be a part of a big part of both of those goals. Let's see what time we got. We got 20 minutes, or we got 10 minutes. Excuse me, 10 minutes. With that being said, we'll go ahead and give the other guys' predictions. Do you have it on your phone?
Yes, I do actually. So, so Sean says he's predicting 1-0 Dynamo, and then Josh says 2-1 Dynamo. He thinks that Maddox puts one in.
Message Sean and ask him what his bold prediction is for today.
I got you.
All-time MLS record at DC for Houston Dynamo, and I'm only bringing this up because it's right here. 14-6-4 in MLS competition, and they are 5-5-2 in MLS competition in DC. Because there was some interliga matches thrown in there for that. We currently sit third on the table, 2-1-1, 3 points, 5 goals for, 2 against, plus 3 goal difference. We sit behind LAFC, which, Sean, how you feeling over there about that? And Vancouver. And I quote, there will be a dumpster fire this year. They play 2 matches on the road and win. I mean, here you have MLS clubs that can barely get 2 wins the whole season, and LAFC already has 2 wins on the road.
But like I said earlier in the program, there's so many teams that start out with a bang and they just lose.
Well, yeah, it's funny because Portland was that same way last year. Seattle's done it the last 2 years where they catch fire after the All-Star break, and then they squeak in the final. It is that league. It's you don't want to go all out in the beginning of the year. You want to get casual results. You don't want to play all that hard unless it's against your rival.
Do you think this is a problem, the fact of how many games MLS has to play?
No, not at all. Because, I mean, any other league around the world plays around the same amount of matches.
How many games
isn't the average like 30 around most of the other leagues? Yeah, 30 to 34.
Yeah, but how? I mean, isn't MLS a shorter span?
I think it is no. I want to say like EPL is a shorter league, or like month wise, because they don't take off. That's also because they don't have to worry about a FIFA break every 4 years during the World Cup. And I actually had this argument with somebody at work, and then there's a couple other tidbits I wanted to get into today. But no, it's not touching me, bro.
There we go.
I don't know who you are. Oh, wrong button. Who is this Kubo you keep talking about?
Darby says the refs have got to start giving the Dynamo a little consideration. Defenders just crowd in and foul the crap out of him. Yes. And refs will turn their heads.
And that is, if you look at, let's look at Barcelona. They have to play close to, no, I'm just using them as an example. You could use Madrid in the same argument, or even Bayern Munich. They play probably close to 50 matches a year. Here we are in the U.S., MLS clubs complain about playing 34 regular season matches. They complain about playing the Open Cup. And then you want to throw CCL in there. Well, if you want to put yourself on the same level as some of these clubs around the world, you have, if you're good, you're going to have no problem playing 50 matches a year. End of story. I mean, between the group stage and Champions League, between your domestic cups, and some of these other cups, I mean, you got this. What are the cups that they all the cups that they play in Spain outside of the Champions League?
So you have the Copa del Rey.
Yes.
You obviously have La Liga.
You got the Spanish Cup.
That's Copa del Rey.
Okay.
And then either if some of them get Europa or Champions.
Yeah. And then there's normally a one-off match too between the league winner and the cup winner. And the cup winner.
Yeah, that's the Supercopa.
Yeah. So I mean, MLS clubs want to complain about all this. You guys have the easy end of the stick right now. I mean, if you want to put yourself in the same parallel, it has to happen, and you need to be okay with that.
And you know what? most of the MLS teams they put in their second and third stringers in Open Cup.
Look how many more matches.
See, Dynamo puts in the Toros in Open Cup, but labeled as the Dynamo.
Look how many.
# we want Open Cup too.
Look how many matches Ronaldo and Messi play in a single year.
Yes.
Look at, and let's not forget about the International Champions Cup, which is a friendly, and they still play minutes and nose. Mm-hmm. You know, it's ridiculous how many matches these teams play overseas.
Plus their national teams.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about it on a single level, but as a club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
What I mean is, as a club, how many matches are these people playing a year?
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And in MLS, well, you have like a team like Colorado. Oh, we're not taking the Champions League seriously.
I mean, you're there. Might as well make the best of it.
You know, it's this thing called branding and marketing. Get your name out there, especially in South America or in Central America.
See, like right now, Toronto is being talked about a lot.
Yes,
in
on
Mexico.
An international stage.
Exactly.
They just beat, and I'm not trying to rub this in your face, but it's a valid point. They just beat the highest payroll team
in all of not just
the Americas.
Exactly. In all of North and South America.
Yes. Central America.
True.
Well, yeah. Well, is it like the North Jersey, South Jersey thing?
Yeah.
Central America is just there?
Yeah.
But that's my point. A couple other news and notes, maybe we'll bleed over for a little bit, is U.S. men's national team will be playing in the 2019 Copa America in Brazil. I'm excited about that. Be a lot to watch.
Yeah.
Gives us something to look forward to since, we're not in the World Cup. Let me go.
So did you hear about the news regarding the 2026 bid?
I heard that Houston. Yes, that was another thing I was going to bring up. Houston is in the runnings to be one of the bigger host cities.
Yeah.
U.S. will be hosting a total of, I think it was 60 or 66 matches as a whole.
And then Mexico has got 3 stadiums with Estadio Akron de Chivas, BBVA Bancomer Stadium of Monterrey.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. I would think that stadium would definitely be.
And Estadio Azteca.
I should probably type in AO Houston. But I would definitely, because I remember back when they were talking about the U.S.-Mexico match for the qualifiers being played in Monterrey. And
but they have to fix those pitch issues first.
They have pitch issues as beautiful as that stadium is.
Have you not seen the pictures? How bad it is. So they're pinning the blame on the fungus or something like that. But here, let me show you. So this happened at the Tigres versus Monterrey. It was not the final, but last season's the last regular season match.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let me read this off real quick.
Yeah.
In case you don't already, there are a couple matches coming up soon. We do have the U.S. men's national team playing on the 27th against Paraguay, but that's not really what I'm here for. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet already, the U.S. women's national team will be taking on Mexico in a friendly April 7th. The pre-match show will be at Lucky's. Not pre-match. The pre-match tailgate, I guess you could say, will be at Lucky's. The match is the 8th. I think the match kicks off at 12 or 12:30. The AO night before party where there will be merch. There'll be everybody AO. It's typically a really good time. That will be April 7th at 6:30 a.m. at the Phoenix on Westheimer. You can also join Jen Cooper. She'll probably be doing trivia and her keeper notes stuff. And she normally gives away some pretty cool things. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's giving away tickets. But I think I'm going to end up getting press passes, and I think Sean's working on it too for that match. Just wanted to read that off real quick. Good. Oh, God. Oh, God. Edson's showing me the pitch in Monterrey. Look. Wow. That's like a whole piece of sod that just ripped up off the turf.
Yeah.
So, bold predictions. Did he get you one?
No, not yet.
My bold prediction is that they will move the match at halftime to RFK. I finally have a good one.
I think my bold prediction is that we're gonna get another squirrel, or what was it, a raccoon?
Oh, they have it all at RFK.
They're gonna move the raccoons from RFK to Maryland, and it's gonna be and then that raccoon is gonna be a better ref than the actual ref.
Let's see. Anything else? Oh, well, we'll do. If you haven't already, make sure you get your MLS lineups in. I think the first match is 12 or 12:30.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, my dog's just chilling on the couch. We are the first match at 12:30. So we have our match, DC United versus Dynamo. Kicks off 12:30. Like I said, it's on Cube 57.
Mm-hmm. Then at 1, we have your Philadelphia Union against Columbus Crew. What's your take on that?
It's at home in Philly. Typically a good crowd. I think this is Columbus's first loss this year.
I would say it's a tie.
Tie.
Okay. Here.
Minnesota United, Chicago. Chicago runs all over them, even though it's in Minnesota.
And then you have at 2, you'll have the Clásico of Canada. You'll have Impact de Montreal against Toronto FC. I'm going to say Toronto.
Oh yeah. I think they're going to be riding the high from that match. Now, in reality, they could take this match off. DC or Montreal has not won a game in their last 5.
Machado with the lone goal. That's Sean's bold prediction.
I could actually see that, though. I don't think MLS's headline is will TFC suffer a CCL hangover in the 401 derby? I don't think so. If anything, it's a draw on the road for them, but they haven't. And
we'll have to see if maybe they're going to be using a lot of second stringers.
I think
because
they will.
They are going to be playing against America.
Yeah. When is that next weekend or next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll bring those up real quick before we go off air. 2:30, we got NYCFC versus Orlando City. Orlando City is winless in their last 5. And Kleshman's playing against NYC. Aaron knows how to play against them. He normally plays them pretty hard. I think Orlando City actually squeaks out a win in New York. New York, they have issues sometimes at home, and they're better on the road.
Yeah. I say the same thing. And then at 6:30, you're going to have Atlanta United versus Vancouver Whitecaps. This is all Atlanta for me.
Yeah, it's not going to be Vancouver searching for the 3 straight wins. I don't think it happens. I think Atlanta destroys them. I think this one actually might end up being a decent match. Sporting KC versus San Jose. San Jose's look pretty decent in their last win. I think KC wins at home.
But so yeah, because San Jose's coming from a bye, right?
Yes, they've only played 1 match.
Okay, so at 8, which is the final game for today, you'll have Real Salt Lake versus New York Red Bulls.
I actually think that is the match of the weekend. Red Bulls have looked pretty decent. They'll be riding their string of form from the CCL matches, which they've looked extremely good in.
That's another question. Another team that are they going to be using their second stringers?
It's on the road. I could probably see that. If they play their starters, it'll be a very good match. If they don't, then I think RSL walks all over them. And it's Sunday.
And Sunday, March
MLS
19th.
screws us. There's only 1 match, and it's FC Frisco versus Seattle Sounders. I think Seattle goes to Dallas, and beats FCD.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, they have to come back from that lackluster performance against Chivas.
Yeah, and it really was. It was a little rough.
I was extremely disappointed.
But while I'm bringing up the CCL schedule, what did you make of MLS as a whole? And I know you're a Liga MX fan, but what do you feel of MLS going into the Champions League? Do you think it's an improvement over previous years? Do you think that gap between, and I'm not talking about money, but do you think that gap between MLS and Liga MX is actually getting smaller?
It is getting smaller. Definitely, I think it's a mixture, but it's more along the lines of how much better MLS teams have gotten in regards to actually bringing in decent young talent into the squad that are actually going to add to the playing level of these teams rather than just getting washed up players that are just coming in for retirement.
Yeah.
And so You do see, at least with Tigres, and Josh is gonna pick on me saying that I'm just bringing up excuses for them, but I felt that Tigres was overconfident. They underestimated Toronto, and by the time they wanted to react and they realized, hey, you know what, we're down against an MLS team, it was too late, and so. And in the case of Xolos and New York Red Bulls, Xolos has always been a mid-table team. The only time they were up on top and they won the championship was when they had Miguel Herrera as a coach. So it wasn't a surprise to me that New York Red Bulls actually won as well. They
looked tough, and to get the result in
Tijuana. You know what I also liked about New York Red Bulls was how fast they recovered the ball and scored.
I'll ask one question after I read this off. So the semifinal round starts Tuesday, April 3rd. We'll have Toronto FC taking on.
So they have 2 weeks.
America, yeah, they got 2 weeks. BMO Field.
Yeah.
Do you think Toronto actually? I know your hatred for America, but do you think? Do you think Toronto actually has a legitimate shot against America? Yes. Even in Azteca?
Yeah. Yes.
Really? I mean, I saw how... Well, actually, it wasn't packed in Azteca. And whoever's playing their trumpets suck.
Dude, they were so out of tune. It was like, I just wanted to go and punch them. But then again, they'd probably take out a knife and take my wallet. But that's a different story.
Wednesday, April 4th, we've got Chivas taking on New York Red Bulls.
I actually think that this one is going to be a win for Chivas.
Why did I say Akron?
That's the new name of the stadium.
Yeah. And then the second leg would be April 10th. New York Red Bulls taking on Chivas at 7 a.m., 9 a.m. America hosting in Azteca against Toronto.
So I see Toronto winning 2-1 in the at home. And I see Chivas winning 1-0 against New York Red Bulls, and then probably Toronto will hold America for a tie at the Azteca, and I might actually see Chivas squeaking out. Maybe Red Bulls get a tie at home, and that leads them to the final. But then again, I'm being very hopeful.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today. We just want to do a quick pre-match show. Yes, thank you, Darby. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody that tuned in today. Gabe, Bob. I think that was really all that commented. To the other 7, thank you, guys. Go ahead and give this video a like. It helps us out when people search for the Peel. Go ahead and share it. If people, they still have time. They got an hour till kickoff, and this show's just over an hour. Just over an hour. We'll be here. Josh and his fiance will be here. My fiance I live with, so she'll be here.
I hope she's here.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Don't drink and drive. You need somebody. Get an Uber, please.
Yes,
or a Lyft. But definitely have fun tonight. I am glad that Dynamo are playing early because I plan on getting drunk tonight.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys again.
Also, be sure to check out Down in the RGV.
Yes, Not that I
check
missed.
out. Okay, so this past week we had an interview with Jerson Echeverry.
Yes,
really good interview. I actually have the interview itself on SoundCloud. So check it out, soundcloud.com/downindthergv. I am planning this day to write an article in regards to yesterday's season opener.
Lineups have came out according to James Williams. We got Sights in net, Kevin Garcia, Machado, Leonardo Beasley in the back. Midfielders, Alexander Sarin, and then Elise, Martinez, Wenger, and Manotas.
So basically, it's the second half lineup.
I want to know what's up with Dylan because I would have started because Beasley's more versatile when it comes to being able to switch positions. I mean, hell, he's played forward before.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him slide over at right back and have Dylan in at left back. I'm really curious to see what's up with Dylan.
Was it that bad though? Because I know going back with concussion protocols. I mean, like with this CONCACAF match between Chivas and Seattle. You know, you had Will Bruin leaving really early in the match over a concussion protocol, and so you know we have at least with the Dynamo we have Malky. We also have Dylan Remick with the concussion protocol. So I mean, how extensive is it?
On the bench, Willis, Fuenmayor, Rodriguez, Steves. Steves on the bench today. Let's hope we go up big and Steves comes in.
Yeah.
Arturo Alvarez, Boniac Garcia, Kyoto. I would like to see Fuenmayor get some minutes today too.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and retweet the lineups. That is going to be it for us today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, tune in on Tuesday, 7 a.m. We'll have this match to talk about. We're off the following week. Dynamo, I think, are off the following week. I had it right here. Let's see. DC United. Yeah, there's a week break, I believe.
Yeah, because we don't come back till the 31st.
Correct.
Against
so,
the Revs.
Maybe we still do. Yeah, we'll still do a show on the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's going to do it for us tonight, guys. I'm waiting to get to the thing so I can close the stream. What else was I say? Come on. Load.
There we go. Come on.
Load.
So be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and convince your friends to subscribe as well. And
yes.
that helps us out a lot.
We're up to 117 subscribers. When we first started, we laughed at the idea that we can get this high. But it's actually happening. Now we're actually on the official MLS podcast list.
That happened last year. I emailed them and I was like, "Hey, we should be on this list," and he added us. You know, just to the fact that they actually added, took that concern or that request seriously. That speaks volumes. All right, guys. Have fun today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And as always, I'm Justin. And Edson. Forever Orange. Forever Orange, guys.